The illegal elbow.
Elbow techniques. This is the elbow. An elbow from here. I'll throw the elbow.
Yeah, the illegal elbows.
All right, people, we're back, man. Illegal Elbow Radio, another exciting episode for you guys, man. This is Brian from Illegal Elbow Radio, Illegal Elbow on Twitter.
And this is Dan from MMA Aftermath on Facebook and Twitter.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Josh Copeland coming in and fighting Jared Rosholt.
Hell yeah, this is a stacked card, man. This is a stacked card for UFC 185, man.
Definitely pay-per-view worthy, man, for sure.
Hell yeah.
You know, we've seen some slop-ass cards that were supposed to be called pay-per-views, and they should have been, you know, barely a fight night. So this stands the test.
A bunch of money to people because they were so shitty due to injuries and shit. But this is, like you said, this is pay-per-view worthy right here.
Copeland's debut against Ruslan Magomedov, just, I don't know if the guy probably had a little bit of jitters, maybe. Who knows? I don't want to chalk that up as exactly it, but he looked okay. You know, I would certainly expect a Rosholt to get in there and make sure it work of him with the wrestling. You know, hopefully
Ruslan came at him with a lot of kicks and fucking strikes and shit too, man. You know, it's fuck.
Yeah. And he's a bad dude, man. I think he would do well against a Rosholt too. Probably mop up a Rosholt, but it was a decision win, so at least the guy was able to stand there and hang. So, you know, he's a submission knockout guy. I mean, pretty decent across the board. Talking about Copeland here, he's got 3 KOs, 4 submissions, 2 decisions, you know, and 1 loss, and that was his first fight in UFC. So, hopefully, we're not seeing another guy that just comes in here and just gets his exit, you know, after a couple fights. Hopefully, we can at least see him.
A la fucking Ruan Potts.
Right. Hopefully that's not the case, but I'm definitely going to make the pick. Obviously, like you, I'm going to make the pick for Rosholt. Probably, maybe I'm going to say maybe sub or ground and pound, obviously, but say second round maybe. But
yeah, but like you're saying, with a Copeland hanging in there, tough guy, I do see him, getting punished. Getting taken down by a Jared Rosholt, who is a supreme, wrestler type guy, catch wrestler type guy. But he hasn't shown me anything in the last few fights to say that he is going to submit Copeland.
Yeah.
Because he did well against Saul Palele, and Saul Palele, we knew, hey, Saul Palele gets you down on the ground, you're fucking done, you know. But he flipped the script on a Saul Palele and got a Saul Palele down. And Saul Palele in that fight was just struggling the whole fucking time to guard against takedowns and shit like that. Got him totally off his game. But then Alexei Oleinik comes in and basically knocks Jared Rosholt right the fuck out. So Jared Rosholt does need to watch out for the knockout, but if he does, close the gap, get him down, I see him taking out a fucking Copeland via, decision. If not, like you said, a fucking, beating the shit out of him on the ground. But I just have to give that respect to Jared Rosholt and his takedowns, man. He's gonna put you up against the fence. He's gonna take you down, man. So.
Also, we got Cruickshank coming back.
Nasty eye injury, dude.
Okay, that's right. I couldn't remember what the hell the injury was, but yeah. Accidental eye poke. That's right, KJ Nunes. That's right. Well, it's awesome to see him back this early. And that's obviously an eye injury. I guess it does kind of clear up a lot quicker than a bone injury or something, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, Dariush, a tough test, man. He's a bad dude, man, for sure. Yeah, he's been in with some good names, man. Charlie Brenneman, Tony Martin, Carlos Ferreira. So I mean, he's had some. He's been in there with some good opponents. Can he? I don't know, man. He might be a good guy to test Cruickshank's sub defense, man. Really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have to say Cruickshank. They're probably putting this guy against Cruickshank to say, hey, we've seen you knock the fuck out of your knocking out a fucking Mike Rio, split decision against Yves Jabouin, or Yves Edwards, excuse me. But when it came to a Jorge Masvidal, he looked a little lost because of Jorge Masvidal, fucking primo ground game guy, survived against a Jorge Masvidal, but in the fight, it was unanimous decision. Didn't really know what to do on the ground, dude. And that's coming against a Dariush, whatever.
Yeah.
As we see, fucking his wins come by via submission mostly. So if you get taken down, can you show us some ground game defense at least, or attack from the ground, or at least show some takedown defense where you can stay on your feet and make him feel the wrath of your superior taekwondo, So taekwondo, karate, Cruickshank, hometown guy, we're pulling for him, and I would love to see him come back with, a kick knockout or something like that, because he needs it coming off this eye injury. I want to see a stand-up game. Dariush probably doesn't want to go there. So it's going to be very interesting, bro.
Yeah, it's a cool matchup.
I do have a Cruickshank. Yeah, I do have a Cruickshank because I think he's been working on the ground, if not the ground game, probably some of the ground game, but probably a lot with the takedown defense aspect of it, using his quickness to get the fuck out of a bad situation,
Yeah, it has looked better too. I mean, even though he's been in there with guys that just confused him, like a
Masvidal.
Yes, Masvidal. Yeah. Even though he was in there with a guy like that, Enjikawani, which good gravy. That's just two strikers going head to head. I mean, they've looked good with, all the way back to Mike Rio. Some of the ground techniques have looked better, mainly in the not ground techniques, but I should say takedown defense. It looks good. You know what I mean? It's a slow progression because of the matchups he's in. He's in with a lot of guys that don't do a lot of takedowns. So it's hard to see it, but guys that'll get him against the cage or something like that and try to do a takedown from there, he's good. Defense looks good. So you see a little bit of it, but not a whole lot when it comes to that because of the matchups he's been in, He was good against the Jorge Masvidal. You could see the improvements, but it was just, like you said, it was a match that he was lost in. So hopefully he'll be able to showcase a little bit more of that defense and like you say, keep it on the feet. Hopefully, at least through the first, through a lot of the first, keep it in the feet, and then if he gets a takedown, it's towards the end anyway, and he's back up for the second. Right? You know what I mean? Could at least time it that way. You know what I mean? Keep him off until the end of the round or something. But just a thought, man. Looking ahead, I guess. But
next we got Ross Pearson, 18-8, coming against Sam Stout, who's 21-10. Sam Stout, his MO is basically, let's grind it out. Let's see if you can last, the full 3 rounds here. Because if you just look, he's beaten plenty of guys, fucking unanimous decisions, split decisions. And his last fight had a problem here and got knocked the fuck out, TKO by a KJ Noons. Okay. On the other hand, we have Ross Pearson, who flat out is a fucking banger, dude. Okay. He didn't want nothing to do with anything else. He wants to knock fucking block off. Okay. But that being said, he ran into a road stop, that being an Ally Quinta. Okay. Who has opened a lot of eyes.
Certainly had Pearson confused as all hell, like we mentioned with the last fight,
But I see a Sam Stout, he's going to try like I said, the grind out game. Let's take it to the judges. Okay, that's what he does. That's his MO. I see a Ross Pearson coming back and reevaluating his situation and saying, I need to do such and such, I don't know, maybe jabs setting up his knockout shots, whatever, being a little more tentative.
A little more head movement, just overall better boxing technique.
Yeah, kind of like respecting your opponent a little bit. Because going against Al Quinta, I don't think he respected Al enough, and he got fucking taught a valuable lesson.
Yeah.
You need to bide your time. Yeah, you can still get your knockouts, but you need to feel out the fucking opponent first. So I think Ross Pearson's going to come in and do that. I think Sam Stout is going to be on the ass end of a fucking knockout here, okay? Sam Stout, great guy, but I don't think Ross Pearson wants to take this to the fucking judges, okay? So I just think this is Ross Pearson's comeback fight.
Been in there with good names, man. Talking about Sam Stout. Knockout loss, KJ Nunes. Submission guillotine, James Krause, also a loss. Decision, John Makdessi. Beat Carlos Fodor, excuse me. It's very close to Fader, but Cody McKenzie beat Cody McKenzie in a decision. So yeah, he is a very decision. He's a decision win guy all over the place. He knocked out Yves Edwards, going on 4 years ago here. That was his last knockout win. So I mean, he's very his latest wins, man, are all decisions. Even a lot of losses are decisions. So maybe he'll be able to hold off Ross from getting that knockout. Ross might have to just go ahead and go with a decision win. But I'm not really banking on that. I'm thinking maybe a late second knockout or something. It's kind of what I'm thinking. But if they go to the third, man, Ross might be gassing if he's throwing a lot of heavy hands in there. So I don't know. It really depends on what Sam Stout's been doing because it's hard to say. It was April. His last fight was damn near a year ago. So, April 16th last year. So we're coming up on almost a year ago. So if he may have stepped back, done a little reevaluating for himself. So which I hope he did because I think he's a good, solid, tough dude, man. He's just had some rough road lately. But I think it's a great matchup, man. It's a cool matchup. Calling a winner, I'd say obviously Ross Pearson, but I won't sleep on a Sam Stout. I'll be front and center, man. This will be a good one for sure. But moving along, unless you got something to add to that, man,
No, I was going to say let's do a little break and we'll run down the final four because the final four, what is it, 4, 5?
Final four, yeah.
Yeah, let's take a little break because this next one, dude, this is the fucking battle of the heavyweights, and
I think when we get back with that too. I'm sorry, man. I was just going to say. I think when we get back with that, what we'll do is we'll throw in a little bit of heavyweight forecast coming up too, because there's a lot of cool fights coming up. We'll just I don't want to take up everybody's time out there, but just to give it a minute and. We'll run down some of the real interesting heavyweight fights that are coming up. Because in the next, I've gone through them all. Going through June, there might be a couple added, here and there. But going through June right now, we got about 17 heavyweight fights coming up.
Holy shit!
There's
going to be a lot of moving and shaking of the fucking top 10 spots here.
Yeah, big time. I mean, some of them aren't real well known guys, but. Some of them are just guys that we know, and then the other ones we have no idea who they are because they're in lower promotions, not proportions. But but I went ahead and listed them because they're guys that we know of. So, but anyway, man, we'll get to that when we get back, man. See you back in a second here, Chief.
Hey, and people, check out the Illegal Elbow app on Google Play Store. It'll be well worth it. If you want to catch all our new shows and all our archive shows, get notifications, check out Google Play Store, Illegal Elbow app. Just type in Illegal Elbow, one word, and you'll get it.
Mom, I'm getting real frustrated here, I want to listen to my Illegal Elbow show podcasts and stuff, and I can't. I go here, they redirect me here to this Spreaker app. I want something more convenient, man. This is not fair. I want to listen to this when I want to listen to it.
Hang on, Mom. All right, I got this one. All right, look, buddy. No big deal, all right? What you do, you head over to your Google Play Store. And then what you do is you search illegal elbow, all one word, no spaces. Voila! You got your app right there, man. You can check out every illegal elbow show, illegal elbow MMA show.
You hear that, Ma? All of them.
It's so easy to do. Packed with information on us, how to contact us. Go to our home pages, our Facebook pages, our Twitters, all that good stuff, man. So it's a great app. So go check it out, comment on it, rate it. That's another thing we want, man, is give us a rating on that app, what you think of it. So,
You hear that, Ma? You hear that, Ma? One word, illegal elbow. Type it in right now, Google Play Store.
kids all hyped up, man, and you should be too, people. Go over, Google Play Store, check it out, man. Thanks a lot, guys.
Before we get into the Big Country Nelson versus Overeem fight here, we're going to run down some of these. We got a lot of them, too. A lot of heavyweight matchups coming up here. Brian's going to run down the next few months of heavyweight matchups that are going to shake up the heavyweight, the list that we have, the top 25 list that we have on illegaelbow.com. It's going to shake it up, bro.
Yeah, big time. Well, obviously the ones of the night, the Rochold, Copeland, Overeem, Nelson, obviously. A little Titan FC action, Chase Gormley and John Madsen. Two names we know, both from UFC past. Over in Bama 19, Carl Etherington versus Camille Basilek. I don't know exactly how to say that dude's name. Haven't heard of him, but Carl Etherington I have, so I added that to the list. Mark Godbeer, also Bama 19. Steadfast and Godbeer, thank you, sir. Then Thomas Denham. Peter Graham's also fighting Dennis Goltsoff. I don't want to go over every single one because we try to keep it top stuff. But Gabe Gonzaga, Mirka Krokop 2, UFC Fight Night. That is April 11th.
Don't think Krokop's going to fall for the fucking kick in the face again, but...
No. No, but Daniel Omilanchek versus Anthony Hamilton, which I think ought to be a good fight, man. Omilanchek's had a rough past few fights. Hopefully he can get this shit back together because I think at one point this dude looked like a monster. So, and that's also April 11th. One guy that Juan Potts got his championship from, Andrew Van Zyl taking on Brendan Groenewald. That's EFA 39, May 7th. Mark Hunt, Stipe Miocic fight.
Oh,
night.
shit.
Yeah.
Wait for that one.
It's funny, too, because if you guys go to illegaelbow.com, there's a interview and some open workouts of the Hunt Miocic stuff, which is pretty cool, but it's also got a video in there of them two together clowning around with the interviewer, kind of just making jokes, and they're actually just hanging out, having a good time together, even though they're going to fight. So I think that's kind of cool.
It is, and out of all these that you named, I'm really looking forward to that one, dude.
Yeah, big time, man. Also, another good one, Travis Brown, Andrei Arlovsky, May 23rd. Smelino Rama and Blagoy Ivanov, which I think will be damn good. World Series Fighting 21, June 5th. This is one that you might not have heard of, Dan. Ben Rothwell, Matt Mitrione.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard that one, and hey, it's a good one.
I like that, dude. I think it's a cool matchup. Derek Lewis, Sean Jordan, that same night.
Yep.
Then we get to the real champion, Fabricio Verdum. Just my opinion. Everybody else is probably going to give me shit for it.
No, there's gonna be jaw dropping that night, and there's gonna be people realizing, you've been rolling in the cane butter long enough. Fabricio Verdum is no joke.
Yeah, and that is June 13th. And then, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Barnum and Bailey Circus presents Shambo Slice and Kim Rock are going to be fighting front and center June 20th, Barnum and Bailey Circus, the featured attraction of that night. So there you go, baby. But without further ado, man, let's get into the Overeem versus Big Belly Country. No, I'm kidding. Big Country, man. Just to go ahead and kick this off, dude. I think big country. I think it's not gonna be easy because I think Overeem's learned a lot and learned that he needs to keep people at bay. But I think Roy stands a good chance of going into bad gas tank areas,
Mm-hmm.
and then really starting to miss a lot of shots. But I still think he's going to find the chin of an Overeem and knock him out.
And you know what? I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. And if you want to see any fight, just take the Stefan Struve coming back after a long layout fight out of it, okay? Just take this fight out of it. Let's go to the Ben Rothwell versus Overeem fight, okay? Where Ben Rothwell was just looking for the chin the whole fight, okay, in the first round. He knocked him out in the first round. And the beginning of that fight was just Overeem knew it. And let me tell you one thing. You're going against a guy that has stood against and taken punishment and lost against the likes of a Stipe Miocic and a JDS, okay? He's went through the wars. He's taken the punishment. This guy's got a fucking iron chin, man. If you want to fucking go and say top 5 iron chins in the sport right now, you have to go with a Roy Nelson, okay? Roy Nelson is there to bring it to you in your face. And Alistair Overeem, man, you just haven't looked the same since you've been off the juice, okay? Now, this right here, it might go the full 3 rounds, whatever. But like you're saying, man, and like I think fucking big country is going to knock an Overeem out, and we're all gonna say, just like we said against fucking Ben Rothwell, fucking Overeem's done, dude. He's not gonna fucking vie for any fucking title or anything like that. Big country is in here, and I think he's gonna slip the overhand right, dude, and he's going to knock a fucking Alistair Overeem right the fuck out.
Yeah. I think, you can watch a lot of videotape, on a Roy Nelson and see what it takes to really kind of wear him out and stay in the later rounds. But you can never take the power out of a guy's hand. He, up to the last round, yeah, he's going to be ass tired, man, and just lobbing shit. But you can bet there's going to be a lot of stink on every one of those. You know what I mean? Maybe not every single one, but I mean, when he plants his feet and he's ready to go, he's still going to have plenty of power to shatter Overeem. You know what I mean? Really. And I mean, there's only 2 guys out there too that have really legitimately knocked out Roy Nelson, and that's Mark Hunt and Andrei Arlovsky like 8 years ago. I think Andrei Arlovsky, I think that was even more than 8 years ago.
2008, fucking October 1st, 2008. So
okay, so yeah, 7 years ago even. But I think once he gets that shot landed on an Overeem, I think there's going to be somewhat adversity. I think Overeem will fare pretty well on keeping him at bay. But once it gets through, this is how it's going to be, and it's just the way it's going to go down.
Chin will shatter like a glass jaw. Tyson comes out on the ground, picking
That's
up
like
his chin.
double pain right there, man. Damn. So
yeah. His corner's gonna be picking up pieces of his chin, trying to reattach it. But yeah, it's that is fucking Overeem's. This kryptonite, man, is his chin. It really is, dude. And I think from what I know, fucking Roy is not just gonna be fucking, training and I got another guy. He's gonna be looking at fucking film, dude. He's gonna be looking at tape. And he's going to know that an Alistair Overeem's weak spot is fucking right under his lips, okay?
yeah.
That chin is going to be tested. And if you do not pass the test... Dude, we're talking about a Roy Nelson who went the distance with the JDS, dude, okay? And if you guys... By all means, go back and watch that fight, man, because he gave JDS fucking all that JDS could handle, dude.
Yeah.
But he really did. And Roy Nelson has taken out the likes of You know, a Mirko Krokop, yeah, on the ass end of his career, a Matt Mitrio and a Czech Congo, basically got Czech Congo's done. But
walk off knockout, I believe.
yeah, basically. And you know what? And then he goes against top tier guys and loses, but takes them to the fucking final rounds, dude. You know, unanimous decision, yeah, JDS. Unanimous decision loss against fucking Stipe. Unanimous decision loss against fucking Daniel Cormier. These are top tier guys, okay? These are badasses, bona fide badasses. Can anybody say right now that Alistair Overeem is a bona fide badass? No. He's right now, he is in heavyweight limbo, and everybody's wondering and waiting for him to beat a top tier guy. And I'd have to say that a Roy Nelson right now, with his pedigree, is not a top tier guy. But if he beats Alistair Overeem, hey, Roy Nelson's back in the thick of things. And I just see that overhand right connecting and Alistair Overeem buckling. And after that, it's all fucking icing on the cake. It's over. It's Overeem. I don't see Alistair Overeem the same guy that he was when he was on the fucking juice, man.
Yeah,
you know?
His last impressive fight was Brock Lesnar. I mean, you know, he decision to Frank Mir, you know, and beat a Stefan Struve. You know, which Stefan Struve, I think he did show improvement of keeping especially a dude with reach, you know, at bay and stuff like that. I mean, but if he's able to, you know, if he trains mainly on head movement and strictly point fighting, don't worry about your power shots, I think he could take this into some later rounds. But it's just that gamble. Do you want to gamble on your chin backing you up the whole fight? You know what I mean? I think Overeem's probably got the power to knock out a Roy, but he's got to take a few to give a few too. You know what I mean? The odds don't look good. You know what I mean? Of those approaches. You know what I mean? So, but I think we pretty much beat the hell out of it. And but just saying, to move it along, man, this fight here is up. This could be up epic proportions, man. Johnny Hendricks and Matt Brown. This is really going to kind of show you where Matt Brown stands, I think. And this is a hell of a matchup for him, but at the same time, I think it's a hell of a matchup for Johnny Hendricks, too, because Hendricks, in my opinion, I don't want to say... I think both fights, you know, Johnny Hendricks taking on Lawler, I think both of those fights were not questionable, but I think they're controversial in who won. I thought Hendricks won the first one, and it was pretty shaky. I'm not sure he won the second one, but they saw it opposite. So, you know what I mean? It's really odd. But I thought it was fair because I thought Robbie Lawler got so friggin' robbed in the first fight. But run it down, man. What do you think, Dan?
I actually think this is going to be a shocker. You know, this is going to be a shocker to a lot of people, you know, because they automatically say, well, Johnny Hendricks just got to take out the immortal Matt Brown to get his comeuppance, to get his just due third fight with Robbie Lawler. And, well, guess what? I got Matt Brown winning this one, dude. I got Matt Brown knocking Johnny Hendricks the fuck out, okay? Knocking him out or submitting him or whatever he's got to do. I see him beating him. And the same goes for Robbie Lawler. And I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but Robbie Lawler has a fight against fucking Rory McDonald. And I see fucking Rory McDonald taking the belt. So I don't want to get too far ahead, but we cannot sleep on the fact that the Immortal reeled off before his loss against, in a unanimous decision against Robbie Lawler, had reeled off 7 straight fights. And actually, it was 9 out of 10 fights. Okay, he had one. Okay, and most of them by a fucking knockout TKO. Okay, on a major fucking rampage on his way up to fight a Robbie Lawler, okay? I'm not going to, say, hey, fucking Johnny Hendricks has lost it all, but I just think a guy like Matt Brown could figure out a Johnny Hendricks and what a Johnny Hendricks does, okay? Just trying to knock motherfuckers out, going toe to toe. I think he's more of a guy, like I said before, with Big Country. He's going to watch the film, dude. He's going to study his opponent. He is going to go in there with a clear and concise game plan.
I almost see Matt Brown being a little more durable than I do with Johnny Hendricks.
Yes, we've seen Matt Brown against, I think it was, I'm not sure, an Eric Silva, dude, almost fold over in pain, ready to tap out, find something in his soul to come back and beat an Eric Silva with a battle of attrition in the third round and knock him the fuck out, dude.
Yeah.
Just a guy that, dude, you better be ready to fucking go, man, because this guy is going to fight tooth and nail. He is the epitome of a guy that back in 2011 we thought, when is this guy going to be cut? He's coming off of 2010 that was not very nice to him.
Yeah.
3 losses in a row. A 7-fight tear before he finally loses to a Robbie Lawler. This guy is no joke. He has a bad taste in his mouth after losing to a Robbie Lawler. Johnny Hendricks, do not look past this guy, because you just might see yourself looking, with your back on the canvas, looking up at the lights. So I have, and this is probably not a popular opinion, but I have Matt Brown beating a Johnny Hendricks in this one, bro.
I think the thing about Matt Brown is that a lot of people, maybe a lot of people don't, but some people will dismiss. Johnny Hendricks got rocked several times in the Robbie Lawler fight. Matt Brown never got rocked, really. It was a pretty much a damn good war through the whole damn thing. I think Matt Brown has what it takes to knock out a Johnny Hendricks, because Robbie Lawler, in the second fight, in my opinion, he was gun shy on pulling the trigger on some of those shots that could have finished Johnny Hendricks. I don't think Matt Brown's going to be gun shy. I think he's going to pull that trigger, going to get those extra shots that need to be handed out. You know what I mean? And he's also a very good wrestler himself. So if they were to go to the ground, I'm not saying he's a better wrestler than Johnny Hendricks. Johnny Hendricks is known for his wrestling. But Matt Brown's also a very good wrestler. So if it were to go to the ground, it could be also a very fun part of the fight to see. These guys scrambling, you know what I mean, going for it, you know what I mean? And they're both Matt Brown's fairly good at getting back to his feet too. So if Hendricks were to take him down, and land the takedown, how long can he keep him there? You know what I mean? I'm betting he'll do well, but he's got to deal with Matt Brown's takedown defense also. I think this is a great fucking matchup. I think it's just got obviously this one's gotta be title contention written all over it, and this is Matt Brown's real shot. It also comes around to a little percentage of who wants it more. And I think Matt Brown proved already that he wants it more. Which I can't really say he wants it more than Johnny Hendricks, but Johnny Hendricks in his last couple, in my opinion, he didn't, when it came to later rounds, I don't think he dug deep enough to get that first win. I don't think he dug deep enough to get the second win. So, I'm talking about the Hendricks Lawler fights. It's just my opinion. I think Robbie Lawler won both of those, but I could make the argument for either one, but I think it's an awesome fight, interesting fight. Just another great one to add to an overall just a badass card, man. And if you want to put a cap on it, man, I've pretty much said my piece on this one, man. We can move on to the ladies of the evening.
No, I think this is going to be one of the two shockers of the evening, and we'll get to the first. We'll get to the overall shocker in the main event. But yeah, Johnny Hendricks, man, if you just think that you're gonna look right through the Immortal and get your just dues by rematching a Robbie Lawler, you're sadly mistaken, in my opinion, bro. And I hope you trained, and I hope you watched the highlights of Matt Brown, because I see this guy ending your little vie for the fucking third fight for Robbie Lawler. I think he's, and put it this way, it's going to be Matt Brown versus fucking Rory McDonald, in my opinion. So,
well, I mean,
that's so far ahead, but I'm just saying,
right.
I think Rory McDonald is going to beat a fucking Robbie Lawler, but so.
It depends what Robbie Lawler we see, because the last time we saw Robbie Lawler, I didn't think he won that fight. But, and I'm talking about the Hendricks fight. I thought he did a little lackluster. He didn't do as well as he did in the first fight, but he got robbed in that first fight. So I almost want to say it's almost a karma match, to where they gave him this one because he deserved it the first time around. You know what I mean? Because he got that's just my take on it. I'm justifying it, I guess. And he beat the ever-loving shit out of Rory McDonald the first time. Rory McDonald's going to have to do a lot of... Well, I think that Rory McDonald had already fucking invented himself and kind of dedicated himself long before that fight. But maybe he's rededicated, and who knows? But I still have Robbie Lawler beating a Rory. But, hey, like you said, it's a long time off. It's far out, you know what I mean? It's not far out as in like groovy or anything, but no, we're a long ways away from it. It's far out, man. It's far out, totally. No, but I'll be front and center for that one, dude. I'll be one ass cheek on the seat,
ready to jump out of your seat, basically.
Right. I'll be on the edge of my seat. Let's put it that way. That's what I couldn't think of, but
Anthony Showtime Pettis versus Rafael dos Anjos. This is big time, bro.
Well, I know who you're thinking, man, and I think it's a damn good possibility. It's an awesome fight in the making. And Rafael dos Anjos, big time, and it could very well be his way right to the championship and getting it. You know what I mean? So this is his dream, basically. And I right off the top, I'm going to go ahead and kind of think. I'm thinking Anthony Pettis will be able to hold him off. I think Anthony Pettis has just been amazing in finding himself in very little trouble, but the little trouble he finds himself in, he's able to work himself out of it. His defense pretty much everywhere has been just impeccable. I mean, the guy, I can't think of all the big words to describe how good he is, you know what I mean? But, excuse me here, I just think the guy is top-notch. I don't want to say nobody, but I think it's going to be a little while before somebody really steps up and takes it. But Rafael dos Anjos is probably going to be one of his biggest tests to date. This could be... A lot of people think, oh, man, Pettis is going to beat his ass for sure, Well, you're not... Maybe. You know what I mean? But you're not thinking about the fact that this could go to the ground and stay there for a while. These guys are both really great submission artists. So, I mean, this fight can go anywhere and be spectacular, man. I mean, this fight could go anywhere and be a fight to watch, big time. But for me, it's pretty cut and dry. We know what they're both good at. We know Rafael is certainly deserving of this title shot. You know what I mean? It's not like one of them, they're just throwing him in because there's nobody else for him to... No, this guy's earned this title shot by far.
Oh, yeah.
And
he did the fucking bendo. Holy shit. Flying knee.
Yeah, no, it was awesome, man. And he's certainly deserving. You go back, let's look at his roster a little bit here. just the last few, are impressive. Just a domination over Nate Diaz. His most recent fight, and then his KO win over Ben Henderson, Jason High, a loss to Nurmagomedov, but
that also goes into the fact about the ground game too. It's
right. That was a decision loss too, so he's able to hang in there. So he's able to hang in there and roll with the punches. Before
takes
that,
out a Cowboy Cerrone and Evan Dunham.
right. I was just going to mention both of those. Those are both great names. Feathers in the cap, big time. Bocek's a tough dude. A lot of people don't know much about Bocek, but Bocek's a strong wrestler. He decisioned him, so I mean, decisioning a Bocek is you're wrestling. You know what I mean? You play to your strengths, that's for sure, because you got to work that guy in order to take him out in wrestling. But just those are just some of the great names that he's faced, man. Guida, Tebow, Soteropoulos. It's a lot of great names, and this guy's finally got his shot, and I think it's going to be an awesome fight, man. Could be fight of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be a damn jiu-jitsu match of the year. Who knows? Because I'll bet you any money it's somewhere in here. They could cancel out, possibly, but they both got excellent stand-ups. So, I mean, this could be just an all-out brawl all the way to the fifth, man.
Yeah.
It's sick. It's a sick-ass fight.
It's, somebody could get caught in here, man. It's one of those things where somebody could get caught. And the only thing that I see that Rafael dos Anjos is lacking is in size and reach. He's a shorter guy. So that might be factoring in, when it comes down to this. But I don't know. I haven't seen him stand up against a Pettis to know if Pettis has got the fucking, the reach and the length. I know Rafael's 5'9" and 5'10", but they're not showing me reach right now. So that could be a factor. The kicking, the striking of an Anthony Pettis. We all know about that. A Ben Henderson, he fucking annihilated a Ben Henderson. I know a fucking a Pettis in their last fight with Ben Henderson submitted him too. So I guess that's throwing them both out the window because they both gave fucking Bendo's fucking number, okay? But to
both beat Cerrone too, man. Shit.
Yeah, fucking beat a Cerrone. I think Cerrone got caught with a liver kick from Pettis.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But I think, and I'm just saying this because Rafael dos Anjos is a buzzsaw, man. We have Anthony Pettis, a lot of flash and flare. Rafael dos Anjos, I think he does most of his damage once he closes the gap.
I could see him being a guy that brute and brawn his way in there and do that. I think that's a good possibility, man. I think you're onto something there. If he's able to, get inside and really shake up a Pettis, is Pettis going to be able to defend all that? You know what I mean? He's got the makings to be that guy, to get in there and shake it up. You know what I mean? Like you're saying.
But like you said, it can also be a Pettis' quickness, staying away from letting a Rafael get inside and do his fucking work that he does. And bringing this into a long, grueling, badass fucking brawl 'em out match, fight of the year kind of match that you're talking about. But Rafael, to have a chance against a guy who, the only fighter ever to graze the front of a Wheaties box, No, and that's a big thing, dude.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
And I see a Rafael dos Anjos has to either take out an Anthony Pettis in the cage during the fight, either by knockout or submission, or he's going to lose the fight, because you cannot have a guy that is, he's on the top of the world, dude. it's going to be very hard to get a judge's decision against a guy a champion that is, this well liked, the fame, the
Well
the
decorated.
recognition. Yes, well decorated. Rafael dos Anjos has to end this in the cage, dude. He has to end an Anthony Pettis, either by a flying knee or something of that magnitude to take out an Anthony Pettis, because Anthony Pettis is looking for the show. He's Showtime. He's looking for the highlight reel move. Okay,
Surprise.
And yes, and Rafael dos Anjos needs to watch out for that. And not only that, is he needs to stick with his game plan. And both fighters aren't looking past each other, dude. They're not looking to the next guy. This is it. This is for the belt. I just see Rafael dos Anjos. I want to say get lucky, but you implementing his game plan and catching an Anthony Pettis, dude. And I see him beating an Anthony Pettis via knockout, and it's going to stun the world. But hey, I'm probably in the fucking 10% here, but this is how I'm seeing it. Rafael dos Anjos is a badass. We can't deny that.
Just some little stats here to throw it out. I don't believe Pettis has ever been knocked out. I could be wrong, but Rafael dos Anjos has not been knocked out since 2008, and that was also stopped by Steve Mazzagatti. So it's the worst ref in history, but it could have been. You know what I mean? That was probably before people hated his guts, but that was UFC.
Herb Dean in here, fucking,
What's that?
You could probably see a Herb Dean in here on the main event,
Hey, you never know.
He's had his problems too, so.
Yeah, hopefully it's
Mazzagatti. I'd rather see a Big John in here,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'd rather see a Big John for sure. But because I think that guy knows what to look for. These guys, I'm not saying these guys don't, but I just think he's much more experienced.
He gives him a little more leeway on a championship match. If a champ's hurt or even a challenger's hurt, he's going to give them an opportunity. Which a fucking Herb Dean is in there ready to stop. He's almost in between the fighters when somebody goes down. Ready to.
Suppose he hasn't taken a few himself. No. What knockout loss to Jeremy Stevens? Like I said, 2008. We're going on 7 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's a long time. Let's take a look at Pettis too. Pettis 18-2. Only losses to Bart Palazewski and Clay Guida. Never been knocked out. So those are split decision losses. So durable dude, good chin, but you know what I mean. He's and he's been in there with good strikers. So I would have to say head movement's good. You know what I mean. He's all over the place. So I mean the guy's in and out. It's hard to catch him, but Rafael dos Anjos has got. I mean, this is going to be a hell of a fight, dude. This is going to be a hell of a fight, man. I don't know how else I can break it down anymore. Really, I just think I'm going to be front and center, and this is going to be two pros, two absolute deserving pros to be number one and the champ. You know what I mean? Either one of these guys both deserve to be in each other's positions, but.
And put it this way: if Anthony Pettis takes out a Rafael dos Anjos, whether it be a KO, TKO, or a decision, it's Anthony Pettis. You have to put him up there as pound for pound, top 3 best in the world. It's if he beats a dos Anjos, dude, I'm going to put him up there. Right up with the Ronda Rouseys and the Bones Joneses.
Absolutely. I think he's proved just as much as Jones has. I mean, besides being a champion for as long, but I mean, he got the belt when? He got it from Benson Henderson.
2010,
No, 2013 I thought was when he got it.
Oh,
Wait a minute here.
he beat.
Right, he beat him in WEC.
Yeah.
No, you're
Yeah,
right. He did get the belt from him then, but
It solidified the belt back in, solidified it against Ben Henderson back in 2013. So
right. I think he got the belt. I don't know who the hell he got the belt from. Was it a? I think he got the belt. He got the WEC belt, or he kept it. I believe he won it in 2010, and then won it again against Ben Henderson in 2013. And he's only defended it once since against Gilbert Melendez. And Gilbert Melendez looked pretty good. I thought he looked good with his offense, but Anthony Pettis was just able to You got a couple.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean to cut you up, but we have to take into effect that Anthony Pettis had a layoff, an injury of some sort, and he did look a little ring rusty, before he did take Gilbert Melendez in that fight.
Yeah, that was a year and 2 months. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, August. Yeah, shit, a year and 3 months off. So this time he shouldn't be as rusty. So. But yeah, it's going to be a sick ass fight. I'm looking forward to this just as much as any heavyweight fight, and I'm all over heavyweights. So I love that. I love Pettis. I think he's a badass, and it's like I've grown huge respect for Dos Anjos, man. So this is just like I said,
this is badass, and this is the major capper to a badass stacked card, and fuck, man, it's the fucking cherry on the top. So we're going to see. This is what UFC needed after a fucking shaky and tumultuous start to 2015, dude. They got the Ronda Rousey fight, and now they have this. So they're trying to make the comeback here. So
yeah, and to put a highlight on what you're talking about, what he's talking about, people, is basically the constant piss testing, the lies about it, the lies out of Dana White, just all that shit got us so pissed off that we basically took a hiatus over it, and we're like, I don't even want to talk about it. How are we going to do a show if we don't even want to talk about it?
And we did call, the damage control part where they came out with the new stipulations and the new rules concerning drug use in the UFC. So
yeah,
we were looking for that. It took them a few weeks, but they got their shit together and they came out with this is what's going to happen if you do decide to use. So it's proactive, day late and a dollar short kind of proactive, but hopefully they can move forward from that, and this is another fight that will move us farther from that, dude.
Yeah.
So,
hell yeah, dude.
But badass fucking card. Looking forward to it this weekend, dude. Because for some reason, when we watch the fights over at Cousin's house, something awesome always happens. We've been there for the fucking the broken toe of Jones.
Right.
For the
upset of Anderson Silva.
And we've been there for the knockout of Anderson Silva, and we've been there for the broken leg of Anderson Silva.
Jeez.
So, Cousin's house is the house of
upsets.
Upsets and fucking crazy ass highlights. So
yeah, no doubt, dude, no doubt. Good point, man. Good point. And it's always a great place to hang and watch it too, man.
Oh yeah.
A good possibility, but I actually have an engagement that day, and I don't know how long it's going to take. So I may miss some prelims and all that kind of stuff. So
this is a good one, man, for the UFC. UFC 185. Looking forward to it. Thanks for tuning in, people. And thanks a lot for the turnout for our last Chuck Liddell. We broke it down a little bit. Yep, Chuck Liddell on the stand. We came to Chuck's defense, and we're not going to have it, man. You don't put Champ in a corner, man. Okay?
No.
You don't do that.
And she was a dingbat besides, man. I mean, what an idiot. But if you haven't heard it, man, go listen to it. It's comical in the beginning, and then we'd kind of, talk about some of the good points and the bad points of what she was saying, and which majority of it was bad. But we let her have it too. She's not gonna try to take a fighter to task and try to make a fool out of him, and not on our watch. But,
Hell no. Thanks for tuning in, people. Until next time, steadfast.
In a God beer.